Hello, everybody. Ryker Richard here of the Raptors Digest. Coming in, no music on the intro, lost it somewhere. Reacting to the Raptors 105-101 W against the New Orleans Pelicans. Seeing the return of JV after 3-year absence in the Scotiabank Arena and managed to win this one in a real back and forth affair. And not back and forth with the lead, back and forth with 10, 11-point runs. 10 for me, 10 for you. It was a bit of a gritty, awkward game to watch, but this is now 6 in a row. And I'm going to play this to officially put it to bed. The old tank commander, those days are long gone. That was a season ago where we suffered. I don't even want to play the whole thing. That we suffered through many losses with the prospect of bringing in somebody new to bring the team, make it more youthful, bring us to the promised land. Well, we got that guy. We got all of our stars back. We have Pascal Siakam finally playing good. We have Fred who dropped 8 threes in this one. What a game. Quick 2-minute summary of this. We can skip the first. We skip the second. We'll skip the third. Bring us right to the final 3 minutes of the fourth quarter. Closing time. 96-96. New Orleans Pelicans, I think it might have been Devontae Graham, hit some sort of three. The Raptors, they kind of struggled with three-point defense in this one, it seemed to me. They also struggled a little bit with interior D. We'll talk about that in a minute. But, Fred time. Freddie VanVleet, shout out right now. Ben's been promoting it. Go to the Raptors Digest Twitter. We've been plugging the Fred VanVleet for All-Star, so anytime you retweet those posts, then it puts a vote in to get him officially into the All-Star game, which is what he's well-deserving of this year. So we're down 3. Fred comes, splashes one. Easy. Next possession comes up, step back, fast break, 3. Bang. Up 99 or up 102-99. That's the score. Now I think timeout was called. Brandon Ingram hits a layup. Raptors are up 1. We have the possession. Fred VanVleet, he's chilling up at the logo. Kem Birch comes up, sets to try and set a screen. I thought that this is how it was going to play out. You know, I was expecting some ISO. I thought that this man was just going to pull up from the logo. He was hitting it with distance. 8 for 17 was Fred VanVleet in this one, but he used the screen, got into the lane, dumped it off to Kem Birch, who was open, missed the bunny, and then the long arm of Chris Boucher was there to put it back in. That kept the Pelicans at distance. They missed their 3 on the next possession. The Raptors got a bunch of offensive rebounds in the final 30, 40 seconds, and they were able to fend them off. So, well-deserved win, I guess, in crunch time that you're able to close it out. Not the best game overall, and against one of the weaker teams in the Western Conference. But it is what it is. Fun to see. Without further ado, we're going to give away the Scottie Barnes Award. And I'm just by myself. I'm looking around for something to do a quick drum roll on, and I will use this book. The Scottie Barnes Award tonight. See if I know the hotkey. Tonight it might shock you. It's not going to Scottie Barnes. He didn't have an amazing showing in this one. 3 for 10 from the field. 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 turnovers, 2 fouls. He was there. His presence was there. I didn't feel like he had as much of an impact in this game as he normally does. So I could have liked for him to do more, but again, the shots weren't falling tonight. And despite me just raving about Fred, 8 for 17 from 3, 32 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. It's not going to Fred tonight either. The surprise winner of the Scottie Barnes Award tonight is Pascal Siakam for going 10 for 10 from 3. And I don't have his official free throw percentage for this season pulled up, but I'm pretty sure he's shooting lower than average, around 71%. I don't think he made all of his free throws last game. I'm really speaking off the cuff here. I should have pulled up that stat. But I was impressed in this one that he hit every free throw. He knocked him down with confidence. And on top of that, he had 29 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists. He was flirting with a triple-double in tonight's game. I don't have it loaded up. We'll see if I have the animation put into this. I don't have the animation loaded up. I was going to make the chat real uncomfortable, play the butter animation, and make some sort of remark about flirting in relation to a triple-double, but you'll have to wait for another podcast for that one. So we'll give the quick run-through of this game. We talked about the starters. Pascal Siakam, strong game, particularly in the third quarter. Yesterday or Friday's game was Fred VanVleet's third quarter. Crazy 24.3 third quarter, 3 assists, a block, or 3 steals, a block. Everybody knows it was historical. We broke it down the last podcast. Tonight, a little notch down in terms of the history or the importance or the dynamics of the third, but Pascal Siakam still had a very strong outing in this one. And I said it was a game of runs. He put the Raptors, gave them a little bit of momentum, which, of course, foot went off the gas. They clawed back into it, the Pelicans, but Pascal Siakam was the guy, and he was looking really good tonight. Efficient game for him. The only person in the starting lineup, no Gary Trent Jr. in this one, out from last game's ankle injury, still resting on the side. I believe it's just a sprain, so nothing serious. We'll see him back in a couple of games, I'm sure. But the guy that I would have liked to see more from, Ben mentioned it last game, OG Anunoby played 35 minutes, 5 for 12 from the field, not super efficient, but it didn't look like the Raptors. Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me down in the comment section if you saw something different that I didn't see, but it looked like the Raptors just weren't looking in OG's direction at all down the stretch. Like, there was no plays called for him. He was kind of just that guy standing in the corner, kind of drawing the defense away. It was Pascal Siakam and Fred, who obviously deserved to have the ball in their hands down the stretch, but OG Anunoby had a couple of nice plays. He had that one fader in the lane, which got a little bit of distance for the Toronto Raptors at one point later in the fourth. I thought that he could be a bigger piece of the offense, but it just seems like there's no plays for him down the stretch. And then we'll quickly talk about the bench. Was Chris Boucher. Bit of an off night for him in terms of the scoring. Only 6 points, but 8 rebounds, 2 steals, a block. His presence was certainly felt. And that late game tip in, which really sealed the deal. That was kind of the final field goal for the Toronto Raptors, which allowed them to get this victory tonight. Achua played 27 minutes. Tight 8-man rotation in this one tonight. Played 27 minutes, 6 points off the bench. 9 rebounds, a steal, and 2 blocks. He played really well. Birch is the guy. For me, from my opinion, he's going to be that primary big off the bench. A little bit more polished, a little bit better touch. Now, Birch, I thought that his touch was awful in tonight's game, and Achua kind of had the jump on him in this one, but both played pretty well, given they had a lot to handle in Jackson Hayes and JV, who I want to talk about in a second. And finally, Svi Mykhailiuk, surprisingly, not DJ Wilson or Champagnie. That's maybe the big one there. Champagnie, Flynn, Banton, none of these guys we saw come off the bench, except for Svi Mykhailiuk, who hasn't been consistent, to be nice. He's been far from consistent and went out, played pretty well in this one. 2 for 3 from the field, three free throws, 3 for 3, and looked all right. I don't suspect to see him play serious minutes on a go forward. I think he's kind of playing himself out of the rotation, but hey, is what it is. And before we bring it to the segments, shout out Jonas Valanciunas, back in Toronto, a beloved character of Raptors fans, one of my personal favorites. I'm emulating the old JV style, growing out the beard whiskers a little bit, got the hair cut down. Of course, he was rocking the flow in this one, but he put up classic JV numbers that make you envious to have a guy like that on your team. 17 rebounds, 20 points, 7 for 12 from the field, 1 3. I'm disappointed that Jack or Matt didn't say death axes and JV threes when he hit that tray bomb, but of course, you know, they can't hype him up too much. He was on the opposing team, and it was a close game. But this guy was utterly dominant, and it does make me see why people are still calling for, Raptors fans, are still calling for a proper big man, a proper center on this Toronto Raptors team. He had his way down low. It was a tough matchup for Boucher. It was a tough matchup for Birch, who picked up a lot of fouls in this game. Ben would probably complain about some of them being tic-tac fouls. And then Achua. Obviously, all three of those guys are undersized for a proper 7-footer who likes to throw his body around, who likes to use his weight. And then Jackson Hayes, when they played that dual center lineup to start the fourth, I thought this might be a challenge for the Raptors, letting go of a bunch of offensive rebounds. But fortunately, they kind of nulled that scheme by the Pelicans because they played a lot faster basketball. And when you're playing lumbering bigs that can't guard out the perimeter, it's usually you're not, as a coach, willing to do that for too long of a stretch of time. So, not the most interesting game, but a fun one, particularly down the fourth, because it was so back and forth in the nature of these runs. And then to see Fred seal the deal with a bunch of threes, a bunch of consecutive threes, putting the team on his back, 8 3-pointers tonight. Vote for him if you haven't already to make it to the All-Star game. Special game again for Fred VanVleet. We'll bring it to the segments. Starting now. I gotta find the hotkey. The spicy P. The spicy P lay of the day. Boom. Animation there showing Pascal Siakam back to form. We can confidently call him, at least I think, Spicy P once again. People have still been kind of hating on him, or actually I think they were hating on us last podcast for complimenting him, saying that, we were the ones that were saying he should be traded, everything. We just follow the news as it comes in. We follow the energy of the fans, and we defended him for a long, long time. Ben didn't get off of the bandwagon and was constantly defending Pascal Siakam, saying he will get back to form, that the eye test is there, the stats are there, the wins aren't there, and that's what people are criticizing him. I was flip-flopping back and forth, saying, what should the future be with Pascal Siakam? Should he be the guy that's getting $33 million if we're not winning games? Well, he's putting all that to bed because now that the full team is there, there's no health and safety, there's no real injuries, the core unit is assembled, he's looking good. But I've rambled so long, I need to play the segment again. Here it is. The spicy P-lay in this one. I was searching for something. I thought I might have to give it to JV because he did a spin. Wait for it to come back to me. He spun around on Boucher and yammed it on him. But I said I can't give it to a Pelicans player, even if it is JV ex-Raptor Jonas Valanciunas. And thankfully, Fred hit a deep three to tie the game at 99. And then a fast break, step back, three to put him up 102 to 99. His confidence was oozing out of this man like a proper all-star. That's the spicy P-lay. But not all can be the spicy P-lay. Some just make you say, oh, whoops, oh geez. Just like my dreadful attempt to get the animation up. Some plays make you say, oh geez. And tonight's oh geez, I feel like it's similar. It's very akin to the Shacked and a Fool award, where you got comfortable with JaVale McGee being the recurring recipient of the award. Similarly, Achua is once again finding himself the OGs, and he had a strip, he had a steal at the half court on Jonas, wide open. Could have been showtime. You could have kept it simple and done a layup. You could have pulled out any trick in the bag that you want. It was practice, layup, nobody around, dribbled it right off his foot or right off his knee, some limb, and it just rolled right out of bounds. Very reminiscent to the player we cut this summer league, Sam Decker. And of course, much more meme-worthy was his failure when he had that same fast break opportunity, but he tripped, the ball bounced off his face. Oh, that's hilarious. Not quite as bad with Achua, but still, you can't be wasting those wide open opportunities. Got to make sure you got your hand on the ball. And finally, time for the wait, the golden kazoo. The golden kazoo. The Paul Pierce golden kazoo for worst performance of the game. This I should have had pre-scoped. And I'm running through the box score here. Scottie Barnes only had 7 points in this one. Still a positive on the court, +4 in the plus minus. Kem Birch, again, stats not really shining through the stat sheet, or his performance isn't shining through the stat sheet, but he did a really sound job on defense, and particularly in causing a bit of disruption down low, getting his hand on the ball or poking the ball, making it a bit of a nightmare for JV to collect those 17 rebounds. He did a fine job tonight. Boucher, a more limited game than we're used to him playing, but from an offensive production standpoint, but 8 rebounds, had that game-winning tip. Achua, 9 rebounds in this one. I thought he played pretty well. And then Mihailuk, I thought he gave fine enough minutes in his 14 minutes of action in this one. So, not giving out a golden kazoo. But if you guys object to that and feel like somebody was deserving of the golden kazoo, perhaps I can give it to a moment. That moment being the second half, which I believe the Raptors closed the final 6-7 minutes, only had 1 field goal, led up a 15-0 run. It was bad. I was half tuned in, half tuned out. It is what it is. Unfortunately, in this one, I don't know how long I've been going. Hopefully 10 or 12 minutes. Make it interesting enough for people to watch along to. But obviously not live in this one, so no super chat opportunities. No final alarm, which I don't have that animation loaded up anyways, so no harm, no foul. But I just didn't trust my computer speed. We've been having issues with glitching and lag and frame rate and all of that. That's Ben's wheelhouse. He's waiting on the new Mac, so I'm not even going to try Fate. And plus, it's been a while since I've done any of the hotkeys, and I didn't feel like subjecting myself to that embarrassment live. So if Ben's tapped out for the next one too, I will give it a go. But this, I think it went well enough. Fingers crossed. Again, big takeaway for this one: 6 straight wins, 1 game back from the Cavaliers now, within striking distance of Philadelphia, which is crazy to think about. And that's basically it. I don't know who the next game for the Raptors is or when. I'm assuming probably Tuesday, which I will check really quick. Not Monday. Tuesday against the Suns, which will be a true challenge. Top team in the West. And I'm probably going to wrap this up now because the return of Klay Thompson tonight, apparently. So excited to see what that looks like and how the Golden State Warriors limit his minutes and integrate him back. But it's exciting time in Raptors land because we're back winning. We're 7 for 3 in the last 10 games, 6-game win streak. Shout out to everybody who's a Raptors fan. Vote for Fred VanVleet. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like this video. You know the spiel. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all that cool stuff. Thanks for making it this far. Cheers.